Think of the best business asset in your company. Here's one you maybe didn't consider: your marketing. Your marketing system, to be exact. Friend, when you've solved, as in innovated, your new client acquisition process, you've gone pro. You have something truly special because you can grow your company at will. That's next.
It's the Plantscape Business School podcast. This is the podcast for growing not just beautiful plants, but thriving plantscape businesses. Here's your host, longtime Plantscape business owner, systems nerd, and small business innovator, Brad Miller.
Welcome to the Plantscape Business School podcast. This is the place to grow not just your plantscape plants, but your plantscape business. Today, we're jumping into the first of the 7 systems that every plantscape business owner must have. Hopefully you've downloaded your scorecard. You can find it on our website. The first one today, marketing. How to build a marketing system and why that's important. It's important because if you can't control your marketing, you can't control your business growth. And growing your business is essential. I'm sure you know that no business, including yours, stays static. It's either growing or it's fading. It's either going forward or it's going backwards. Even if you have a solid base of clients now, you have to continually be adding new customers, ideal customers, because it doesn't matter how good you are, some customers are just gonna fall away. So marketing, your marketing system is a business asset. If you have a marketing system, you have some serious equity in your business. And again, you can classify it as an asset. I'd like to share with you a little bit of my marketing story, my marketing journey. And it really began with an understanding of this idea. It's the marketing of the work that creates success and transformation, not the doing of the work. And what I mean by that is you can have the most amazing service product ever, but if no one knows about it, there's no transformation. There's no transformation for the person who might use and experience your work, and there's no transformation for you, the business owner. I think that's probably why most small businesses go out of business. And we've all heard the statistics about how many new businesses are started and how many fail. So many fail, close to 95%. And I think they fail because they don't know how to bring in customers. So think of yourself as the author of a life-changing book that you've read. If people would just read this book, it will change their life. But if they don't read the book, nothing happens. So think of your work of plantscaping as this life-transforming message. And your job is to get people to know about your book and to read your book. So again, it's the marketing of the work that transforms, not just the work itself. We all want to be amazing plantscapers. And the next system that we're going to talk about is sales. And sales and marketing go together. Because until we have an approved agreement, and I choose that wording specific because we don't say signed contract, we say approved agreement. And until we have that, we don't have anything. So that's what we're going after. We're trying to nurture people through the sales funnel to get them to this place of an approved agreement. You might know I love Peter Drucker. I quote him a lot, and this is one of my favorites. The sole purpose of business is to create and keep customers. The sole purpose of business. Because if you don't have customers, friend, you don't have a business. So marketing is everything, and everything is marketing. All right, I got to give you one more Peter Drucker. He would say, because of the nature of business, it has two and only two functions: marketing and innovation. Everything else is a cost. So part of my marketing journey is tied to my systems journey of working with the E-Myth. And after working with the E-Myth Academy, I understood what it meant to go to work on your business, to create the systems, and our company was ready to grow. We could scale it because we had the systems in place. And I started to study three different marketing guys. One was Jay Abraham, the second was Rich Harshaw, and the third was Dan Kennedy. This was pre-internet, pre-social media, but all three of these guys agreed on direct response and targeted marketing. And we're going to get into the details of what direct response marketing is. There's a lot of rules and a lot of guidelines, but it is measurable, and learning about direct response marketing has been just a boom for our company. We've been doing it for over 20 years now. But Dan Kennedy is the guy that I followed most. He's very prolific. He's got 25 some books, and he is a huge advocate and student of direct response. And he teaches it, has been teaching it for over 50 years. He would say, you're not in the Plantscape business, you're in the marketing business. So it didn't matter what crowd he was standing in front of teaching. He would say, you're not in the restaurant business, you're in the marketing business. And my definition of marketing, after understanding this idea of direct response, is that marketing is making your work known. And I riffed on this a little bit in the teaser intro. Dan Kennedy would say, anytime you can solve the customer acquisition financing conundrum in any business, you can get fabulously rich. And it's interesting that he used customer acquisition financing, because another essential idea that he would teach is that he who could spend the most to acquire a new customer wins. And we'll dig into that more. But the whole idea of lead flow and deal flow is that the better that you are to create a continuous stream of qualified prospects ready to do business with you, the pickier that you can be about the kind of clients that you choose. In the first or second episode where I was talking about your best work really begins with this vision of this ideal client that you want as your customer. And the way that you get those is understanding marketing so that you can create this lead flow of more prospects than you need so that you can say no to some. And without a marketing system, without lead flow, then you pretty much have to take whatever kind of business comes to you. So yeah, if you don't have lead flow, you have to say yes to everything. And that's not how to build a phenomenal business. So I'd love for you to imagine the idea of a faucet. Not a faucet for water, but a faucet for leads. And so lead flow is having a marketing system that if you turn the faucet on, that leads flow. If you turn the faucet down, leads slow. And so that is the ability that you have to balance your order fulfillment with your sales and your marketing. That's a balance that you're always trying to get to as a business owner, making sure that you don't have too much business at one time, but making sure that you have new customers coming in all the time. So when you turn it on full, leads flow. When you turn it down, they slow. That is your marketing Faucet. And most businesses, not just most Plantscape businesses, but most businesses don't have a marketing faucet. They don't have a marketing system. So without a system, you wait for leads, right? It's kind of like SEO. You're waiting for someone to find you on the internet. And with a marketing system, you have a consistent flow of opportunities with your ideal clients. I'm going to wrap up this episode, and I think this is going to be part 1, and then we'll go to part 2, because I really want to emphasize this idea of the marketing triangle. This was another key idea that I learned from Dan Kennedy, and I'll give you the reference to his book where you can find more of this. But the marketing triangle has a combination of these 3. They all begin with M: your market, your message, and your media. And as we dig into how to build your marketing system, we're going to really spend some time on those 3. So your market is your who. Who do you want to send your marketing to? And if you didn't listen to episode 2, listen to it again, because it's a lot about your marketing. Who is your ideal client? And all of the marketing that you do to anyone else that's not your ideal client is waste. So the first M in the triangle is your market. The second M, your message. It's the what. What are you saying to your ideal clients? And the message is, think of it as a dog whistle. And it's not just any kind of a dog whistle. It's a dog whistle that is specific to one dog, one breed, one type. And if you blow this whistle, that dog's going to come running. And so imagine in my market, we're in Southwest Florida. So we're huge in hospitality. We have a lot of country clubs, a lot of hotels and resorts, senior living, luxury high-rise condos. So our marketing message is about hospitality and how to create a hospitality environment. We talk a lot about ambiance and hospitality. So that's our message to our market. And then the third one is the media, your where. Where are you going to put that message so that your market hears it? And there's so many different medias that you can use to get your message in front of your ideal client, your market. We use a lot of direct response, and direct response is not just direct mail, but yes, it is direct mail. It's very specialized direct mail with a specific message to that person. And I'm going to end with this, but if you're thinking about the 3 M's of the marketing triangle, include it with this marketing equation. It's interrupt, engage, educate, offer, and close. That has been around for eons. It was first taught in a book in the 1940s. And Dale Carnegie and the Dale Carnegie sales course used that book, The 5 Great Rules of Selling. And it was attention, interest, conviction, desire, close. Somebody's updated it, and now it's interrupt. So interrupt marketing, we'll talk about that. Engage. So after the interrupt, they're not just like going on from your little clickbait thing, but they're engaged. And then you educate them. And then there's an offer. There will always be an offer. And then a close. So you're asking for the order. Friend, I could go on and on about marketing. It's the favorite thing that I have to talk about, but it's just the first of the 7 systems. Next week will be part 2 of marketing. And then after that, we're going to talk about your sales and your selling systems. And we're going to put that together with the marketing. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Plantscape Business School podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Plantscape Business School podcast. If today's episode helped you think differently about your Plantscape business, share it with a fellow owner and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an episode. For tools, training, and resources to help you build a business that really works, visit PlantscapeBusinessSchool.com. Plantscape Business School. Uncomplicate your business and expand your life.